guys, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about a small market cap Canadian company. It's a very interesting company, NATO by their product. And they are also the supplier for the Anduril. I think they might have a chance to own the underwater future. So who are they? They are Kraken Robotics. It is a marine technology company based in Canada. They focus on advanced underwater sensors, batteries, and robotics. So they have three standout product lines to drive their growth. The first one is synthetic aperture sonar, aka SAS. So what is this one? Actually, you can imagine it as a camera. They use sound wave to take snapshots. So what's the advantage compared to the traditional sonar? Let's look at this picture. So regarding to the traditional sonar, it just use the sound wave and then take the snapshot here. So you can think of there's a problem. When you get far away from there, you might get a fuzzy pictures, right? So how about the SAS? They will use a robot to move slowly, and then they will send some wave, and after that, the sound wave can bounce back from like different places, and finally, they can use this to create the photos using a computer. So yeah, it might take way sharper than the normal sonar, and it can hit a huge area coverage. Let's look at these two pictures. They might provide a centimeter level resolution picture, and it's pretty clear, and they can explore wider area. So that's pretty great for fighting things without driving down, right? The second product line is Katfish. Actually, it's just a robot. They will integrate the SAS, and then the robot can explore an autonomous launch and autonomous recovery. They move really fast, and they can explore a wide area. The third product line is SeaPower. Actually, it's a batteries. So what's the problem of the traditional batteries? Because you know when you put a battery in the underwater, it might get a lot of pressure, right? So their product is more like a pressure tolerant batteries. So what's the advantage of their product? It can handle extreme pressure without any heavy cases. So overall, it can offer a higher energy density and a longer endurance for the job. So let's check out their competitors. Actually, there are a lot of big players in the underwater defense, right? Like the Teledyne Technologies, like the Kongsberg, like the Lockheed Martin, like the BAE Systems. And how about the market? Actually, the underwater market is exploding. You can check out these pictures here. I made this one. Overall, it's an exploding market. So why? What's the main reason of the market exploding? I think the biggest reason is the geopolitics, right? We know that China, Russia, and NATO, all of them are care about their underwater system. They want to build their submarine. They would like to build their underwater drone and stuff like that. So I think we have a clear picture. We know the underwater drones are the future, and who is going to win this game? And the question is here: why do I have to care about this company? Let's keep moving on, because I think something interesting. So let's talk about their customer list, because you know, as a company, you have to make money, right? That's like the first priority. So we can search some information from their customer. The first one is Anduril. As I said before, Kraken Robotics is a supplier for the Anduril. And here's the big news for the Anduril is like Australia. Recently, Australia just spent 1.1 billion on underwater strike drones. Anduril made a deal for them, and they are going to build it's called a Ghost Shark for the Australia Navy. So how about the Kraken Robotics? What's the role for the Kraken Robotics here? Actually, they supply the batteries. So overall, you can think that regarding each drone, the Kraken Robotics can make around like 2 million to 10 million Canadian dollars there. That's a big deal, right? And the second one, oh, this one is more interesting. We have talked about their competitors, right? The Teledyne's technology. The Teledyne Marine, I check out one news is that Teledyne Marine also placed their order. And they placed their order for the Kraken Sonar and battery. Wow, that's super interesting. Teledyne actually is their competitors, right? But they also make a deal to the Kraken Robotics. And let's continue to see. Um, this one is Danish Navy. Kraken Robotics make a 7 years sustainment contract with the Danish Navy in 2023. Here's one point is like it's options for 2 more 7 year extension. Hey, two more 7 year extension, so it might potentially 21 years for a recurring revenue just from one customer. And the Polish Navy, the UK Navy, and NATO, all of them, Kraken support their underwater vehicles. So what's the signal? I think you know that. And we can also talk about their batteries. So actually, the batteries, regarding these batteries part, they play a very special tricks. So let's talk about the traditional battery first. So regarding the traditional batteries, they might use some very thick, very heavy, very expensive materials. But how about the Kraken's batteries? No, they skip all of them. So actually, their batteries is better because it have higher energy density. So which means that it can hold way more power, and they are lighter. It's very important because you have to like load this battery in the underwater robot. It requires you to less weight, right? And also it's pretty safe for the Navy use. And I searched all of them, and I didn't see any competitors regarding these batteries. So no one can match Kraken's mix of power, the lightness, the depth, and the big production scale. That's a big win for them. So overall, your competitors are their customer, and their battery technology has no clear substitute. Okay, let's move on. Like I said before in my previous video, and that is what we want to express in our channel is we would like to find a mode for each company. So what's the mode for the Kraken Robotics? Let's imagine that uh, they are like to make the important parts that everyone makes. Kraken Robotics doesn't just make the whole underwater robot themselves. So what does it mean? It means that switching costs are so powerful. Why? Because the first one is some big robots are just built around Kraken's part. Like let's take the Australia's Ghost Shark robot as an example, right? If you like, because the Kraken robotics battery is their supplier, right? If you like to charge the battery, you have to redesign the whole robot. That's pretty expensive and it's pretty slow. And the second one is military rules make changing super slow. Because regarding for the army part, it requires safety, right? Because the soldier use them in case of some dangerous situation. If you like to change, if you would like to change a small part, there's a long process. You have to test firstly, test for a long time, and then you have to verify. And after you verify, you have to wait for some general to sign something, or the government you have to sign some file. So actually, it's a long process. even if like another battery maybe in the future is better than them, but it might take time. So the second part is nobody want to take the risk, right? And then that's the battery part is, and then it's the battery part. They make a very clear, clever business model. The battery can degrade, right? And you have to replace, and it require some replacement. And regarding the Kraken Robotics, they make deal to their customer is like, it is not always a one-time hardware sale. It's a consumer model and it inside the defense contract, which means that you have to order and you have to pay the money for the replacement. It is also a revenue for them. So overall, I think it's more like an NVIDIA strategy for the underwater warfare, because you don't have to build everything, and you just need to be the part of the layer that everybody needs you, right? So what about the numbers? I think the numbers can tell the whole story. So regarding for their revenue of the last quarter, it jumped 60% year over year. And the gross margins here hit about 59%. And the net income more than just double. It is over 3.3 million, and adjusted EBITDA nearly double. So the number just tell everything, right? They are making money. They are making money. Their gross margin is pretty great. So overall, I think they are not just riding the wave, they are becoming the wave. So lastly, a lot of people would like to ask a question is, who will win the underwater drone market? But I don't think this is a question. I don't think this is a good question. I think we should ask whose components will become the standards that every platform builds around. Let's take NVIDIA again. Does NVIDIA designing any model? No, OpenAI, Anthropic is making that, right? And the defense spending is also a good signal for the whole industrial, for the Kraken Robotics, the U.S. Navy projects, the U.S. Navy's project, the Australia's project, the NATO's urgent pivot after the Ukraine and India, China, Russia, all of them. There's a very clear signal that the defense spending just raising. But again, in our channel, we always talk about the risks because the risks is real. So I think here are four things I need to check. I need to watch. The first thing is execution. Execution is everything, right? They are becoming a larger company, right? But can they scale manufacturing fast enough? They have to deliver. They have to prove that they are trusted. They can deliver in time. The second thing is the defense contracts are lumpy. And the third one is the valuation or very pricing. You can check out their price, right? And the lastly is the Anduril. Yeah, uh, we 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 know that Anduril is a rising star, is a hit company, but if it is stumble, I think it might affect Kraken's robotics. Yeah. So overall, here's some key takeaway from this episode. The first one is Kraken's robotics competitors actually are their customer. The second thing they already have a defense program, and which can make them to keep gaining the revenue. The third one is the Q3 revenue has proved a lot of things. The fourth one is uh, there's a huge and expensive switching cost for their customer. And the lastly is they are about to being essential to everyone who in the underwater industry. Yeah, that's the whole story of this video. And if you are interested in like the AI and the investment, welcome to explore my product. It's called AITakeaway.net. We always curate the best and the most interesting things regarding the AI and investment. Yeah. Thank you for your watching.